Folks, I was just watching the latest Jmcrofts video. Okay, that's the last Jmcrofts impersonation I'm gonna do. He's actually one of my favorite YouTubers when it comes to fighting game content. But he recently uploaded a video that talked about certain moves in fighting games that were adjusted or had extra properties added to them, and it made them significantly worse. And while watching that video, the only thing I could think about that entire time was a certain move from Sagat in Street Fighter 4. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, check this video out. Alright, here's everyone's favorite character, Vanilla Sagat. Sarcasm. A lot of people just remember one thing about this character, and that's his insane damage, which makes sense. You know, just a generic uppercut combo like that does over 25% of a normal character's health. I think even like a simple jump in used to do over 350. Yeah, so 366 without using any bar or anything like that. I think even if you used a bar, it did something ridiculously dumb. Almost 40% of your health on, you know, just a basic combo like that. We're not going to go into the ultras, but Sagat pretty much had it all in this game. His normals are excellent, his specials are great, tiger shots are really fast, and you knew once Super came out that this guy was going to get the nerf hammer like you wouldn't believe, and he got it. And the two areas where the nerfs hurt him the most, more than the damage, more than anything else, it came down to the nerf of his low tiger shot. So this used to be way faster in vanilla startup recovery. It was much faster, it did more damage, and for some reason it also juggled. And you ask any Sagat main, you know, this was a huge loss. But the topic of this video, and the most important loss to Sagat, was this move over here, the stand light kick. So the reason this normal is so special is because it's a god normal. It's one of the best normals in fighting game history. Is arguably the best normal in this entire game as well. It's one of those normals that reaches far, and I know if you're looking at the damage, especially if you didn't play Street Fighter 4 much, or you missed out on vanilla, you're thinking, you know, 50 damage, that's nothing, you know, really special. I don't know what makes it so good. It's because it was cancelable, and as you can see, it hits so far, but you can still cancel it in to your tiger shots, depending on, you know, which speed you use. If they have to block it, you'd still be, you know, fairly plus in this situation. So Sagat got a ton of options out of it, and you could also do tiger knees into it. And if someone is crouching, this tiger knee in vanilla was so plus, it did tons of chip damage. You just have to accept that, you know, Sagat had you pinned down. So Sagat's stand light kick helped him in four major areas, four vital areas to, you know, any strong fighting game character. The first is for counter poking, and it really gave Sagat an option in this awkward area. Normally Sagat's not supposed to excel in this area, but as you can see, Ryu's doing his crouch medium kick. It's one of the best, you know, normals in the game. You know, every time a Shoto has a crouch medium kick, you know it's going to be good. But in this situation, he still had to respect Sagat's crouch light kick, because it was in a range where if I time it correctly, you know, I was able to actually counter this and hit Ryu with it. It's not like a free easy mode button to use, but with some practice, you know, they had to respect the spacing as well. And because you could cancel it full screen, you know, if you had your timing right, you can hit them with a tiger shot. It pushes them back on block, you're plus. You know, there's a lot of advantages to it, and it's something that Sagat, you know, would miss as the games went on. The other area is incredibly important is corner lockdown. As you can see, I don't have to be too close to them, and I can still harass them with this move. Do it, you know, throw it, tiger knees. These are all safe if spaced correctly. They do a ton of chip, and your opponent, if they try to, you know, mash out of it, they're going to get clipped by one of the tiger knee or the stand light kick, and, you know, they're not going to be enjoying the time that they have. It was also great for, you know, Sagat's zone pressure, and in this game, like Street Fighter 5, tons of things are plus. I think his crouch light kick was already +6 or something ridiculous on block, but, you know, if you hit it multiple times into this ender over here, you know, you're able to restart a loop with a tiger knee pressure. And if you don't have an invincible reversal like your character like Abel or somebody, you kind of really just have to eat that pressure. And it was a really good way for Sagat to, you know, start his offense, which again is not something that he was known for in other Street Fighter games. And then finally, this normal is just great at stopping people from advancing. You know, it reaches so far that the character had to, you know, your opponent really had to know when to stop, because if you're in range of this normal, Sagat can go into a tiger knee that could be safe on block. He can pressure it, or pressure you with tiger shots, It was just such an annoying character to have to deal with because of that stand light kick. And now we got Super Street Fighter 4. This was a huge update, balance patches galore, everyone got some significant change to them. And Sagat, oh, this boy got the stick. He got nerfed so badly that he went from a top 3 character in the game to probably a bottom 3rd in my opinion. Biggest nerfs, a lot of people would say right off the bat, you know, his damage is much lower now. That no longer hits in the 200s like it used to before. All of his specials got nerfed. Tiger shots are much slower. Tiger uppercut does less damage. Tiger knee less damage and less frame advantage. You name it, he got it. He did get one extra move, which is Angry Scar, brand new move altogether, which would give him, you know, properties of his old Tiger uppercut. Still not the best move in the world, but this video is not for that. This video is about stand light kick. So Sagat still has a stand light kick, and you're gonna say, oh my god, this is amazing. I don't have to worry anymore. But there's a little bit of an issue. One, when you go up close, it hits twice. And to the naked eye, you might say, this is amazing. It hits twice. It gives you more time to react to, you know, canceling the special. And because it hits twice, let's just say the opponent is very happy with focus attacks. And some characters in this game have incredible focus attacks. So, you know, this will be able to always get in the way and break that, right? In theory, yes, this will break focus attacks. But that's not why this move was put in. This move was put in because you could no longer cancel it from max distance. This into Tiger Shot no longer worked. If you're up close, you can't cancel the second hit and nothing is going to come out. For some reason, you can only cancel the first hit. And I know a lot of people are going to say, hey, he's still got a close normal that he can cancel, that's good. No, it was not a good situation to do this because a lot of times, if you do the spacing wrong, you're not very plus on your Tiger knees or you're not very plus on your Tiger shots either. So you lose a lot of utility with that. You can no longer lock down opponents with it. You can't really stop advancing opponents with more pressure into a canceled normal. It was just a huge nerf across the board, even though they added a new property to it that hit twice. You would think that a 2-hitting normal would now, you know, give you more time to think, or it adds something else. But in fact, it did the exact opposite. And even at max range, it just does a pitiful 10 damage. What's the point of it doing 10 damage? In this game, in any game, you know, 10 points of damage is just like tickle damage. It does nothing. It might not even kill on like a perfect pixel. And this, along with so many other nerfs, made it so hard for Sagat to keep out some of the characters in this game. We're talking about the characters that really want to stick on you like glue. Fei Long, Cammy, Dudley. Characters that just really want to get into your grill. Now they had a much easier time because they'll take the 10 damage. They'll work on the counter pokes. They'll get you. They'll be happy. Sagat was neutered. And then a full 4 years later in Ultra Street Fighter 4. So they skipped Arcade Edition. They skipped Arcade Edition 2012 all the way to Ultra Street Fighter 4. Sagat can finally cancel after the second hit of the stand light kick. And you're going to tell yourself, he's back. The king is back. He can do everything he can do before. I wish that was the case, folks, because he still can't cancel it if it only hits once. So this gave a lot of people hope, you know. They were saying, you know, maybe if it still hits twice, you can come up with some new shenanigans or come up with some new tech. It was never the case. I mean, it did help for sure. There's definitely some situations I would watch games with Bonchan or Reinhardt and they would utilize this okay. But they would take the trade-off of getting this back to how it once was in a heartbeat. That's just the way it goes sometimes, folks. You think getting an extra property on a move might make it better, but the devil's in the details. Peace out.